Everybody back to the EO Entrepreneurs Organization podcast in the season where we explore entrepreneurship in Morocco. And today I'm very excited to have a guest who runs a business that I'm very interested in, Hicham Lazrak, who runs a business around education and schools. And I'm a big fan of education, so I'm very excited to hear what you have to share. Welcome, Hicham.
Thank you, Simon. Well, my name is Hicham Lazrak. I am an communication engineering major, which means I had my diploma in the US. I came back. I joined my father's business, which is education. So I lived in a family. We used to talk education almost every day. So since my childhood, it was, a passion for me to do a school one day. And then I had an opportunity one day with a family member who gave me the opportunity to do it together. So we started at the beginning kindergarten and elementary school based in a Moroccan system, let's say Moroccan system our way. So we took the program and we made it our way, which means giving more values to the languages and activities, sports, and so on. So today I'm running an elementary school, kindergarten, elementary, and we started this year, especially this year in September, the middle high, which is our new, let's say, program. We started in September. With eventually in few years, in like 2 years, we're gonna start also the high school, which is going to be in another site, just in front of the site of kindergarten and elementary school. So we'll have two different sites, one for kindergarten, elementary, and the other one for middle high and middle school and high school. So basically, this is what I do today. And for me, education is a passion. So
coming back to education, you said you are an engineer by training. How come you did engineering as a training, but then you did education?
Yeah, when I finished high school, I went to the US with the idea of becoming an engineer, especially telecommunications engineer. I did it. I finished my studies and everything. I came back. I worked for like a year or so in a private company who does telecommunications via satellite. It was in 2002. I did it for like a year and so. I didn't really like it, so I joined my father's business. Well, just to let you know, my father was the founder of the first private university in Morocco in 1981. So it was the first private university in Morocco. So I joined him, and my objective was basically based on creation, development, evolution, and so on. So I've done that for like 9 years with him. And one day, like I said, I had the opportunity with a family member to buy a piece of land, do and construct a private school. So we did it. It was in 2012. And then I left him in 2015 with another investor. And we started this one I'm on right now in 2016. So since 2016, and also like I said, Simon, exactly. I started the first one in 2012, and in 2016 I started the second one where I am right now, which is group school. It's Pierre Corneille School.
I'm going on a tangent here, but I had to look up who this Pierre Corneille guy is. And I found that he's a contemporary of Molière in France, which was kind of funny because I have an ancestor called Samuel Chapuzot, who was a contemporary of Molière as a playwright. And it is said that Molière stole some of the ideas of my ancestors. So I was Googling to see whether Pierre Corneille and Samuel Chapuzot were met or sort of worked together at that point. I couldn't find anything, but I found it very funny.
Compatriots, French compatriots, actually. So that's why I choose it at that time. So I could choose another name, but Pierre Corneille seemed to be, a patriot, and I liked what he did, so I chose his name.
Nice.
Exactly.
So, coming back to your career. So the listeners of this podcast, they are entrepreneurs. And so we're going to go into more like the level of education in Morocco in terms of what is the workforce available. But let's first talk about the educational system in Morocco, because honestly, I have like zero idea. What is it like? Is the government providing solid education, or is that sort of a lacking field and private entrepreneurs have to step in to fill a gap? Or is it more about filling a gap with a very specific innovative curriculum, because innovation accelerating, societies are changing fast, and in many countries, schools struggle to keep up with innovation in the classroom?
Yeah, today, to be honest, the government, in a way, just to explain it, is in terms of quality, you need to go to private, to be honest. This is the way it is in Morocco. It used to be in the 80s and let's say the 90s, but by the late 90s, beginning of 2000, the private schools are, getting bigger and bigger every year, especially in the big cities. And today, for all the employees, any social employees, they look for private schools because they know they can't count on the public ones. Knowing that in Morocco we don't have, the kindergarten is not obligatory. It starts from the first grade, which is obligatory in Morocco. So for everybody, employees and more, they're looking for private schools to get quality, mostly. In Morocco, we have the Moroccan system, which is based on a program 50-50, let's say, on Arabic and French. But for the last 2 years, English is taking place, which means, it's political, it's a lot of things that Morocco today is counting on English for the next 5-10 years. I'm talking about teaching the language and teaching courses, different courses in English.
Yeah.
So it's getting there. What I wanted to say also is, to respond your question, private schools are now getting more and more, and it's good for entrepreneurs, that's for sure. But unfortunately, for people who have money, so it's easy to get into education because it's open right now. That's why, quality, it's not given to everybody. It's not automatic. You see what I mean? Either you are into, education, you are into the system, you know how it works, you know how the Moroccan system works as well, or you're opening and for the last 2 years, several schools closed because of quality. So
Private schools.
it depends on the experience. It depends on who opens these schools and so on. So I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, no, you did. So that sounds like whoever has money would prefer to send their kids to private school, and public schools are more for people who can't afford private schools.
Definitely, if you have money, you're not going for public. That's for sure.
Oh,
Okay. That's like 100%. Of course, I talked only about Moroccan system. We have also the French system, which take a big parts in the markets. Education markets, and you have also the American system, the Italian, the Spanish, and now for I think the British are coming as well. So I think for the next years it's gonna be. We're going to have 100% British systems. We have them already, but only few. For example, in Casablanca, where I live, we have about 3 or 4 British schools. And plus the American schools, we have 2. So I think what's going on right now in education, especially with the English language, the British are coming for the next
Oh.
years.
So is that sort of a general trend happening across Morocco, that the country is laying the foundations for the next generation to be more English speaking than French speaking? Because I seem to remember, was it Rwanda or the neighboring country of Rwanda? They some switched from French to English.
Definitely.
That is the
Definitely.
future.
We are not there for now,
Mm.
like Rwanda, because Rwanda, I think the president at that time, he decided from today to tomorrow, we're going to switch everything in English. We are not there, but I think for the next years, for sure, the English is going to take a very important part into education system. It's taking part already in the businesses, because Morocco right now and the governments is looking for let's say the English or the English speakers countries to work with, because you have more opportunities. Our second language for now is French, so we have French, we have the French, of course, we have Belgian, but it's not like if you have English speakers in the whole country, you're going to have more opportunities. And even though for the students, I mean, the students who follow their studies in English, they have more opportunities after high school, either in Morocco or elsewhere. Even in France, you can go to a French university and you can study 100% in English. So English is the future, that's for sure. So now the country, just very important information, in the Ministry of Education, they announced last October 22, that they're going to start teaching English starting from the 7th grade. Before it was until the 10th grade in the Moroccan system. So if they announced that, which means that they want to introduce English slowly, and they probably in a year or two, they're going to announce it's obligatory in elementary school. And they announced also in 2027, they're going to start teaching the scientific courses in English as well, which means they want to, go from French to English and give the opportunity to the students, to have more options after high school.
Okay, before we go down into the rabbit hole of education in Morocco, and have one more question later, we'll do a circle. Let's go back and go back to topics of entrepreneurship. A school, in your case, is also business. You have to make numbers meet. You have to sort of like balance the books, and you probably have to work with a lot of people. So managing business, my understanding very often is being good managing people. What is it like to run an educational business in Morocco? What are the challenges that you face from the point of view of an entrepreneur?
Yeah. Well, entrepreneur is basically, you need to be very, very patient, which is totally normal. We have many competitors, so which means you need to have the best team to work with. You need to make the best system, quality system, education. I'm talking about education. So you can, make a difference between what you're offering and the competitors. That's one side. The other side is the governments, when they give you the chance to open, let's say, a business, especially in education, it's not that easy. The authorizations, you have to go through different authorizations. You need to go through different, law papers, to make it at the end, which is, it's a big challenge. That's why patience is very important. And of course, never give up. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. You see what I mean? So in Morocco, of course, we have opportunities, but to start it, you need to go, you need to follow a process, a lot of process. And this process, it could be, papers, you need to get like this paper and then get other papers and so on. When you finish and they give you the authorization, then to open is a big change as well, because you need to make a difference between you and your competitors, which mean, let's say, it's not only in education, it could be in other, businesses.
Any industry, you have to think about what is the differentiating factor that your business has compared to other businesses.
Well, in education, our, let's say, the heart of the business is the people. I mean, the teachers. You need to look for the best ones. You need to give them workshops and training, and to show them your own system, how it works, how we want it to be, how to treat the kids, how to, let's say, if you have a situation, the way you need to, treat it and get the solution. And to be honest, it's a big challenge. We do that almost every year. Because the team gets bigger, you get new people, and you need to get the new people into the team, and with the old team you need to make workshops and trainers.
So you just made me think. I mean, with the school, you have a director of the school, but
Yes.
it's run by the government. In your case, are you the director, or you are sort of the manager and the owner, and then you have a director who's sort of like lead
Yes.
teachers? What is the setup?
Yes, I am the manager and the founder of the school, and I have let's say a director, supervisor. I don't know how you call it in English, but I think it's a pedagogical director.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the person who does the schedules, who translates the objective of the school into the program. You see what I mean? So this person, of course, she's a girl, she's a woman, and she takes care of, like I said, schedules, and she manages whole team, the teachers, and of course the parents. When we do it together. I mean, the parents, when they get for the first time, we need to explain to them, it's me or the director who's with me. Basically, I am into management and administration, and she is into the pedagogical aspects.
But do you deal with the teachers sort of like on a regular basis, or how close are you to the teacher? And I'm curious.
I see them all every day. I am every single day at 7:30 in the morning at the door. I say hi to all the parents, all the teachers, every single morning. I am close, of course, because we do meetings, and in the meetings, sometimes we talk about something new that everybody needs to know, or sometimes we talk about problems. Relations or problems that we need to find solutions. So, of course, I'm always with them. I'm every day with them. But she is more close to them because she's all the time in the classes. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a bit different.
So going deep on this analogy between sort of like a business that's like selling a service or something in a school. So do you have somebody who manages the finances? Do you have a head of like HR, or is that all like stuff you do?
Well,
and then you have like the pedagogic, whatever?
Yeah, in my case, I have a chance to have an associate who is a specialist in finance. So he's helping me a lot about that. I mean, we do it together every day, every single day. I mean, if there's something we have to talk about it. He just called me because he works elsewhere, and we speak almost every day to talk about finance or recoveries, or whatever it needs to be done has to be done in finance. So Me and my associates, we do it together actually.
Interesting. That's opening up a whole sort of new thought model, how a school is similar, different to business. I mean, in business, with team members, you have to keep the vision alive. You have to talk about the mission. People have to understand where the whole thing is moving. And I mean, I guess the same you have to do with with teachers, so that they know what is sort of like the context within which they are supposed to operate with the students, and sort of like what is the direction that the school is taking. But it's sort of like different because, yeah, it's
It's a very important subject you just mentioned, Simon, because in our school, we're going to give you just the heart of our system. We started, I mean, we have Arabic and French as let's say 50-50. In 2017, I mean, a year after the opening, I introduced English 5 hours a week following Cambridge program. That was just for the language, exclusively just the language. And in 2021, I switched the science and technology in English following Cambridge program. What I did is I took the Moroccan program and I saw the Cambridge program, and I was trying to see the similarities between the two of them. And I saw that, let's say 90% of the Moroccan program was already in the Cambridge program. The differences is the Moroccan one is more theory. I mean, you see what I mean? And the Cambridge one is more practicing. You see what I mean? You need material, and you need to make, experiences with the kids. So what I did is I switched science and technology from French, following Moroccan program, to Cambridge. And that was, really a good decision. So what I had to do is to convince first my director, pedagogical director, and then once she was convinced, we gathered the whole team to tell them that's what we're going to be doing next year, September 21. And it was really, really interesting. Why? Because we saw that the kids were attracted by the English language. They were attracted by the experiences. I mean, when you do chemical experiences, for example, you need to have materials and you live the experience. You see what I mean? Yeah. And it was really very good decision. And like you said, sometimes you need to convince everybody to follow your system. You see? And since I did my studies in English and I believe in the, let's say, British or American system, I think we can mix it with the Moroccan system and we can give something really good, which means we can take advantage of the French one, the Arabic one as well, and the English, and mix the three of them. But at the end of, let's say, 6th grade, the kids speak fluently the 3 languages. And not only, they speak the 3 languages, and they can learn through these languages. You see what I mean? And it's a big challenge. It's a really big challenge.
I also think it's a big opportunity. I don't know. It's like, just speaking from a personal experience, every time I learned a new language, it sort of changed how I understood the world, just because the language gives me a different perspective on like how we phrase things and how we sort of view certain things just by the vocabulary that is different. And
exactly.
Let me go on a tangent. I'm learning a bit of Swahili, and what I learned in Swahili is that they start the day counting at 6 in the morning, because around the equator, the time the sun rises about the same time.
Yeah.
So they say, we're going to meet at 3 o'clock in the morning, which means at 9 o'clock, because 3 hours after the sun rises. And we Western thinkers, is like 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like quite early. Are you sure? But they say we're going to meet at 3. So just sort of like the cultural linguistic thing that I found very interesting in Swahili. And I'm sure you have a lot with these in Arabic, French, and English. and young students who learn these three languages, I can see that it's opening for their minds and
Definitely,
changing
definitely.
how they
And
understand.
they can switch from a language to another. It depends on the situation. And sometimes they can speak, I mean, I'm talking about today, they can speak sometimes English and only English. So we have to give them a chance not only to learn the language, but to learn through the language. You see what I mean? And this is my wish. I mean, for the next years, we started already. We saw the results, and I think we are going further than that for the next years, hopefully.
I have another question that came up. As I told you, my background, marketing, and I always love to understand how businesses sell. And I would think in your case with the school, the biggest driver are recommendations. Parents that like the school, and they talk to other parents, and they sort of like hear the name of a specific school drop time and again. I'm just thinking about in Cape Town, there are a couple of schools that everybody knows, prestigious schools, they've been around for a long time. And so they don't really have to do selling in the sense of explaining what they do and why they're great because people already know them and there's not an interest. And I would think that to market a school, like in your case, the relationship with the parents is super important and the communication so the parents know what's going on, they like it, they feel like they're part of the experience, and that is already part of the marketing that helps you to fill future classes because they tell other parents about the great experience they've had. How far off am I?
Well, I mean, what you said is true. I mean, the best way is the parents who brings other parents and the parents another parent bring another parents and so on. We are in social media like Facebook and Instagram, LinkedIn as well. We communicate, I mean, a lot in Instagram and Facebook. We get some parents through that because we put some videos about, how it works in the school. But the best way is parents who talk about the school to another parents. However, you said that if the school is known and the people, I mean, the parents come just because they know it, well, they know it, but they need to come and understand our system as well. So every time, even though they heard or a parent told them about it, they need to come and understand how it works. Because for them, they want their kids to speak English because Arabic and French are already there, like all the other schools. But when you talk about English, they need to understand even more about it. So that's why we need to explain every time. Every time they come, we need to explain from kindergarten through middle school.
And I guess it's also sort of kind of matching expectations on the side of the parents that probably grow out of societal trends. English becomes more and more prominent and more people think English is the future. So I'm probably looking for a school that answers to that idea that I have about the future, which is English is more important. So I'm probably going to look for a school that embraces English and says, okay, we are preparing your kids for that. So I guess that's sort of like depending, like responding to market trends or to like societal shifts of what people think is important in the future. Now I want to close the loop and go back to in the beginning when we spoke about the education, like the government schools, private schools. Where should you go? Pretending I'm an entrepreneur, I come to Morocco, I want to hire people. What is it? What can I expect to find in the labor market? Is sort of starting with are there a lot of people who come from private schools? I guess you have private universities. Is that sort of something that is preferential, or what can I expect to find?
Well, you're gonna have, I mean, the choice you're gonna have is more likely fresh graduates, just finished graduation and, looking for a job and they want to, they choose education, you can find them. Or otherwise, you need to, debaucher. which means taking from other schools. I mean, you look for teachers who are looking to change. They set their resume, and you call them, you see their experience, and so on. I mean, right now, the big challenge I'm having right now is when I started in September the middle school. I started the scientific courses in English, 100% in English, following the Cambridge. I mean, what I did in elementary school, what I'm following up in middle school. But the big challenge right now is to find teachers who can teach math in English, or biology in English, or physics and chemistry in English.
Wow.
It's not that easy, especially Moroccans. Because what I'm looking right now, I'm not looking for teachers who speak fluently in English or teachers who, know the language. I'm looking for teachers who can speak, who can, teach, explain in English with an accent. Doesn't matter for me. The most important for me is the course, is the math or biology and so on. But if he can, speak and explain the course the way he can do it with an accent, there's absolutely no problem. Otherwise, you need to find overseas and look for native speakers. I get few of them. They're expensive.
Must be attractive, I don't know, for young teachers to come to Morocco for a couple of years. Is that something yeah?
We have them. We have few of them. They come for like a couple of years, 3 years experience, and then they go back. We get them. I mean, this profile, unfortunately, they're not stable. You see, he can spend for, sometimes, I had it before.
Rather somebody who stays there for years and not just for 2, 3, 4 years. You want somebody who has a long perspective of staying with your school.
I mean, more he can stay, it's good for us. Yeah. But the problem with them is sometimes they can leave in the middle of the year, even though you have a contract with them. I mean, there's a risk. You see what I mean? Contrary with the Moroccan, he's here, he's stable, he's in the city. I mean, it's more stable, let's say. You see what I mean?
Have you looked like at other English-speaking countries in Africa? I could imagine somebody from South Africa with an English, I don't know, physics.
I never thought of that. I mean,
Simon,
do you think? Yeah, do you think someone from South Africa would be interested? I mean, to teach in Morocco in English? I mean, of course, he could be like English teacher or math teacher or whatever. And do you think he could be interested?
Yeah, I mean, there's a good educational system. There are people that are trying to find a job. What I noticed, whenever I take an Uber in South Africa, the driver is from Zimbabwe, and they are highly educated. They always have some university degree, and because they can't find any work in Zimbabwe because of the political system, they come to South Africa. So that could be also a source for teachers for you, because they get shitty jobs in South Africa. They don't really want to be an Uber driver, but that's what they get. But they always have plans of like, okay, once I sort of like fully settled, then I go back to engineering and whatnot. I mean, they all have a university degree, and they drive an Uber. And I would think there are also teachers who would be happy to consider a job in Morocco.
I'm interested if I can have a source. Why not? I would be happy to contact some of them for next year. Why not? I mean,
okay.
We need that actually, and we're gonna need it for the next years as well. That's for sure.
Okay, cool. So we're coming to an end, but what I'm taking away from our conversation and the others that I had before is that Morocco is really an interesting place. What I like about Morocco, I've been there in 2011, I think 2012. I did a tour across the country, and I really liked the openness, and you touched on that with the languages, Arabic, French, English. It's sort of very multicultural, and
exactly.
It felt like Europe, not really like Africa, whatever that means, but it sort of was really a very good experience, and I'm getting more and more excited about like the economic potential of Morocco, and seeing what is happening in the educational sector with your insight today was really interesting. For our listeners, whoever is interested in, I don't know, sending their kids to your school, or I don't know, doing business with you, because I know in the entrepreneurs organization we have entrepreneurs
Well,
in
just
the sector. How can people reach you?
okay. Just for information, like I said, I have another site under construction right now. It's going to be done by the end of the year, and it's basically for middle school and high school. It's just in front of the other building. My next thinkings about what I want to do for the next 5 years is probably to open in other cities in Morocco. I think in few years our system is going to take good bases. I have a good team, so it's going to get even better in few years. So for investors who is interested, why not? I mean, I get already investors in Morocco who wants to join. But if there is other investors from overseas, I'll be happy to meet them. They can contact me via LinkedIn, email. I'll be happy to talk, and eventually it could be, a good adventure.
Okay, so everybody's interested, so reach out to Hicham Lazrak, Hicham, and then Lazrak on LinkedIn, and your school is called
Pierre Corneille. Groupe Scolaire Pierre Corneille.
Pierre Corneille. You can find
Pierre Corneille in Casablanca,
in Casablanca,
Morocco.
Fantastic. Thank you, Hicham. It was great to have you in the podcast.
Thank you, Simon, for having me. And next time. Thank you very much.